back like we never left.
Like we never left, y'all. Y'all already know what it is, man. We outside because it is July, and it's because it's one of the 2.5, 3 months that we get in Buffalo to enjoy the elements, enjoy nature before the snow arrives. And I don't like saying that S word, but either way, we here, man. Z, how you doing, man?
Did you miss me?
Right.
In the word, Farnell Hill. Did you miss me? We back though. It's been a little time off, a little short hiatus, but with training camp among us, it's ready. It's time to roll. We back at it.
It's that time, man.
So, hope y'all ain't miss us too much.
Yeah, hopefully not. A lot has gone on over the last 5 to 6 weeks since we recorded. This guy right here celebrated his birthday, so happy birthday to my man Z.
Welcome. I'm old enough to run for president now. McCormick 2024.
Ooh,
putting my name in.
We might need that.
Yeah, Biden stepped down for your boy. We ready.
We might need that.
Ready to assume the throne.
So we done celebrated some birthdays. There's a lot going on. Real quick, I want to get the sad stuff out of the way. I want to say rest in peace to Sonia Macy, who was just murdered, just flat out murdered by the cops out there in Illinois. So I want to send prayers to her family as they try to get justice. Just if you haven't read up on the story, just another horrible situation. Just when it comes to it not having to go that route, but it did. So just want to say rest in peace to that young woman there. But outside of that, like I said, we've had birthdays, we've had there's a lot going on. I mean, president got shot. I mean, the former president got shot at or shot in the air, whatever.
It's been a minute since we had an assassination attempt.
Yeah, so it's just been a lot going on. I know my mother and my sister Sharifa, they got an event coming up, releasing a book this Saturday.
Come on, books.
Can't remember the name of the library off the top of my head, but I'll make sure that if you do follow me, I do share that with you guys and post that. But shout out to my mother and my sister Sharifa on their first book collaboration.
Let's go.
Big things. It's a children's book, but guess what? We all got kids, grandkids, nephews, nieces. Everybody can get a piece of that. So if you follow me, look out for that being shared. But outside of that, y'all, it's football season, man. If you can
you can smell it in the air.
I'm about to say,
listen,
if you take a look
today
around,
and just knew. I'm like,
what is that?
I think that's football. It's football in the air. Training camp rolling out.
Yes. And just so y'all know, we record this after day 1 of training camp, so it's not like we've been able to digest the full week. But day 1 is basically out the way. The guys are back in town, the veterans, the rookies. They had some one-on-one work today, some 7-on-7, 11-on-11s, fun stuff. But I would say, with it being the first day, man, what were you most looking forward to seeing, Zyrus? From a social media standpoint, or just what were you most looking forward to? I mean, with it just getting going? Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that first day, it's always good just to see live football. Granted, we know it's not a game. We know it's not preseason, and even in scrimmage. But to see the boys back on the field, practicing full go, like, that's the exciting part. Like, for me, not being at training camp in person, but seeing the videos and them coming out the tunnel, signing kids, autograph, little kids screaming, like, at the end of the day, man, that's what this is about.
Right.
Put it in perspective. So, I mean, just seeing them out there, the excitement. And for me, I know the real thing is right around the corner. So just seeing them getting back at it is something I just love to see. But, I mean, on the field, I mean, this is probably the most interesting training camp probably since Josh Allen was drafted,
in my
opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, completely overhauled receiver room. Safety room completely overhauled.
Right.
It's a lot of changes on this team. So just seeing them in action, trying to get familiar with all the new players, all these new numbers and changes.
Yeah.
But it's a lot going on.
I think when you say goodbye to like 5 or 6 captains, it's different.
Yeah, it's not just players. I mean, these are core players that are gone. So now
captains, Mitch Morse, Stephon Diggs, Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, just to name a few. I think you're right. I think the only other year that would top this is, like you say, either Josh's rookie year or the year that we acquired Stephon Diggs, because that was a big summer as well.
True.
And obviously Von Miller came too just not too long ago. But I feel like this is just a part of the whole Josh Allen experience. Is like this team will continue to look different
year after year.
Yeah, year after year. And I think, like you said, this one is the most change we'll see, from since his rookie year, because all of those veterans that you're replacing, from the wide receiver room to the defensive back room, defensive line room, pretty much the same, but they still do have 2 or 3 new guys on that lineup.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from Smoot to Casey Toohill. I know I'm gonna miss somebody, but they got some other guys on the D line from
Javon
Carolina.
Solomon, fresh rookie coming in, Austin Johnson.
Yep, from the Chargers, and then like I said, Deshaun Williams or something from the Panthers. So
Blaine
like
Carter rookie, like it's a lot of new faces in prominent spots, and I'm just really seeing how it's going to start to gel together, because I think there's still a lot of talent on this team. Yes, a lot went out the door, but a lot came back, and younger at that too. So I'm just curious to see how they gel, how they look on the field. But I mean, for me, the biggest thing is still, what do these receivers look like? 'Cause, you 200 plus targets is gone from last year, almost damn near 300.
right.
So who's going to step up and take them spots? You got Coleman in the mix, you got MVS in the mix, you obviously got Samuel there, you got Shakir there. Like,
you got Dalton, you got
right, not even mentioning Dalton and Knox, but like who's going to step up? But it's
and I think, and we talked about this before, I think my biggest one that I want people to really get around the idea on is really Curtis Samuel being a legitimate guy that touches the ball 6-7 times a game. Whether it's 2 carries, 5 catches, or whether it's 5-6 catches and 1 carry.
I think he's gonna have a very healthy role in this offense. Just because he brings a skill set that no one else in this offense brings. Not only do you bring elite speed, but you also have a high level of ball carrying skills. You have the ability to come out of the backfield. You have the ability to be vertical and win underneath. Like, he has a very unique skill set that we've kind of been looking for a long time.
Yeah, honestly, I think the last type of person that we had with this skill set was Percy Harvin. And that was in the Greg Roman offense, where they was trying to figure something out with Percy, but obviously he couldn't stay on the field. But like, I would say Percy is probably my closest comparison for a guy in a Bills uniform who is like Curtis Samuel.
But I think he even has more size than Harvin too.
Yeah, because Harvin was a little smaller.
Yeah, because Samuel's not a small guy. Like, he still brings some weight behind his size too. So like, he has a very unique athleticism frame to his body. So I'm looking to see what he does. But honestly, if I had to rank, what I expect from like a target or catch standpoint, but I think he's going to be the receiver that leads this team in catches.
I think so too.
Yards. I think he's going to be their top receiver.
Yeah. I would say right now, if I had to put money, you gave me $100 and you said, Val, who you putting this $100 towards? You only get 3 people to select from, and that's Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman. I'm definitely going Curtis Samuel, because just for the simple fact that you can line them up anywhere on the field, from the backfield to the X, the Y, slot. This is a guy, for real, when you are running through those matchups where they're trying to key in on somebody, he going to give them a headache. Yeah. Because, yes, I want to key in on where Dalton Kincaid is at, and I want to see where James Cook is at, but I also need to figure out why the hell is this guy Curtis Samuel in motion 80% of the time, because I really think they're just going to have that guy in motion, and he's going to be a headache, sort of like how Miami uses Jalen Waddle. We know Miami do a lot of creative things with Tyreek Hill as well, but I think about San Francisco, what they do with Deebo Samuel. I'm just looking forward to what that looks like in a Bills uniform, because just like you said, we haven't had that skill set matched up with Josh Allen since really Josh been here. He's had the Cole Beasley type, so we know what it's like for him to play with a proven slot. He's had the good tight ends majority of his time here. He's had the number 1 wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. He's had the big body kind of receiver in Gabe Davis. So we kind of know what to expect when it comes to other spots, but I think Curtis Samuel is definitely one to keep an eye on. But since the first day is out the way, Cyrus, and I know you've seen a couple clips, what do you think of just some of the small highlights that you've seen from Keon Coleman from day one?
Yeah, one thing that I just can't help but notice is his body control and ball skills are top notch. Yeah. Like, he floats. Like, like his bungees is crazy. Like, it's so fluid. Like, he's in the air, but the body control is crazy. So, like, just seeing, granted, some of those throws against air, no defenders around, so obviously we know. But the body control still is something, whether someone's on you or not, It is what it is.
You can tell when you're watching a fluent athlete.
Yeah, like he has the athleticism. So, you know, it's sometimes even crazy that he didn't separate much in college with as athletic as he is. But now, for me, that's intriguing because if they can figure out how to actually tap into that more, like you got something.
Right, and how to design around what he has. Because that's, to me, that's the power of having a great coach when you get to the NFL. It's like, okay, I know what you have. How can we incorporate this into the offense? And I think, just like we talked about with Curtis, that's going to be the exciting thing with Keon is like, we can focus on the negative of not having a number one all we want to. I'm still excited to see how do we scheme Coleman open? How do we scheme Samuel open? How do we stack on top of what Khalil did last year going into this year? How does Dalton Kincaid take that next step? So, like, I'm looking all around, and I'm just kind of like, I know it's just training camp, and we just going to get little bits and pieces, but if you're a Bills fan, and I know this is only day one of training camp, you should definitely be excited of the videos that you see of Keon against here, jumping, making it look easy, or Keon in tight coverage, getting both feet down to taking a touchdown.
Which was a hell of a catch.
Hell of a catch, hell of effort, and guess what?
Crazy.
All he doing right now is really solidifying that trust with Josh. Like, Josh right now is like, all right.
Just get them reps in.
Give me those reps, because with Diggs, he knew where Diggs was going to be.
Right. If they can develop that trust,
bro, it's going to be back, shoulder. It's going to be nasty. Yeah. And we seen, and not to compare, we seen what Randy Moss gave his quarterbacks when he was in the NFL. From Dante Culpepper to fucking, we already know what he did with Tom Brady. But, like, I go back to Dante Culpepper because Dante Culpepper didn't really have a great career.
That nigga said, throw it up.
By having a guy like Randy, Dante legit just could step back, get crazy, and just find Randy, and Randy would be like, I'll make it happen. And I'm not saying Keon Coleman going to be Randy Moss, but that raw athleticism, that ability to just jump up in the air and make it look, like you said, effortless. That's what I look forward to seeing. Because like I told Z before we started recording, I'm like, that's going to be the highlights that we're going to watch every single day. He going to give you one. He going to give you one, whether it's air or whether it's a defender draped on him. He's the type of player where every day in practice, you're going to be like, oh.
They got some mitts on him, too.
Yeah, he can catch that damn ball.
Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to seeing them just continue to build that chemistry.
All right, so now here's the fun question is, outside of Keon Coleman, what other rookie are you going to be keyed in on for the first several weeks?
That's a very good question.
You can only choose one because I know we got multiple.
Yeah, that's actually really tough. I want to say Cole Bishop, just because I feel like he probably, out of the rest of the rookies, has the shortest path to getting meaningful playing time.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we know how much trust goes into the safety position in McDermott's scheme.
Right.
So I think it's really going to be, how quick can he get up to speed with being able to communicate the back end of that defense.
Right.
Because, you're the last line of defense. And, at the end of the day, I think our safety room is okay.
Yeah.
But there's room for him in that spot.
Oh, yeah, he can get up there.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to beat out Damar Hamlin or Mike Edwards.
And that's not...
You're not saying they trash by any stretch of it, but...
And while you touching on that, and I'll let you finish with Cole Bishop, that's actually probably, to me, like the third best battle I'm looking forward to. Like, along with, obviously, the wide receiver battle, getting that sorted out. I'm looking at that safety competition.
It's going to be
Cole Bishop, Damar Hamlin,
Damar Hamlin is going getting first team snaps today.
He got first team snaps on day one. Taylor Rapp seems to be locked in at one of the spots at least, because I think they kind of saw enough last year, which I would agree. I think towards the
back end.
The back end, he got more comfortable because it was like, oh, okay, now I see what y'all doing. Yeah, early it was just like he was just throwing his body.
His own team. I said, yo, bro, chill.
Yeah, he just was just out there running around. But I think once he got comfortable and it was like, oh, okay, so this defense is about patience, jumping the ball when it's there, and just being in position. But yeah, Damar Hamlin, Mike Edwards, and Cole Bishop. But I also think you're going to see a lot of 3 safety looks too. That's something that McDermott started doing last year with Jordan Poyer in the lineup, which you can see Hamlin taking that Poyer role where it was like, listen, Poyer, we ain't need you back there, but we need you at the line of scrimmage. I can see them doing that with DeMar Hamlin.
I mean, he is a physical player.
Exactly.
So it's just, can he hold his own? But I'm curious to see if they stick to that or if they were doing that out of necessity.
Right.
Because, I mean, at that point, by the time they rolled that out, Milano was down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really ain't want Dodson out there in passing situations. For real. So I want to see if they continue that trend or was this all right, we just making do with what we got situation.
Right.
But if it is something they want to put out there, I think they do have the personnel to do it.
Yeah.
It's just not that the role that Poyer was playing. That's not a role that fits Rap. They tried that a few times. It just wasn't a good fit. Rap was better on the back end than someone else coming down. So we'll see if they try to do anything like that.
And I will say, while you're speaking about the safeties, and I'll let you get back to Cole Bishop, I promise, it also allows me to look at that linebacker room and say they have more flexibility in there now with Milano coming back. And then the sneaky pickup of the offseason, I thought on defense, was Deion Jones. We talked about it before, but like adding a veteran like Deion Jones who has the ability and the experience to cover and to make plays on the ball is so huge because we haven't had a good serviceable cover linebacker outside of our top two linebackers since really McDermott's been on this defense. Like, he's had two.
Yeah.
He's always had either Edmonds or Milano to be able to play the two linebacker system to a T. AJ Klein, shout out to him for doing what he did.
Coming off the couch and doing your best.
And who was the other linebacker that we had? Obviously Tyrell Dodson, serviceable. But like Deion Jones is now going to give you a guy with playoff experience, a guy who's been in tough division battles, but a guy who just made plays on the ball. Yeah, I mean, like the man got like 5 or 6 pick sixes in this league.
Past Pro Bowler. Like, I mean, for a while, I mean, he was one of the top linebackers
one of the top
in
five,
the league for
at his position,
years.
right? And I like the fact that Terrell Bernard, not to jump around, he brought him up on his post practice. What's the name? He brought his name up, saying like, listen, I'm sorry to pick the brain of Deion Jones, like kind of get information from him to try to see like what were things that made him successful. So the fact that a young dude like Terrell Bernard going into year 3 can pick the brains of a veteran like
been
that.
there, done that.
Yeah. But I'll let you get back to Cole Bishop. What else were you saying on him?
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much it. It's just, I mean, I think he's the one that has the shortest runway to get to the field. So I just want to see how that safety position, plays out when it comes to snaps and reps. But I just want to see what he looks like on the field, like the athleticism he brings, the hard-nosed toughness that he brings. Because again, all the reports, coming out of college is that, he can be, I don't want to say quote unquote, but a tight end eraser.
Yeah.
So I want to see you do it.
But he said he gave Dalton Kincaid battles.
And Dalton Kincaid said that. A lot of times he won those battles. Yeah. So all right.
Cole Bishop might be the one in this draft we look at like a Terrell Bernard, like a Matt Milano.
Yeah, and Bernard didn't look like
a Taron Johnson.
Year 1, but all of a sudden year 2 he came out and was balling.
It was just like year 1 Milano. Like Milano showed flashes his rookie year, but it was really like, okay, we see something. Mm-hmm. Then year 2, year 3 Milano was like,
we here.
Oh, we got something. And that's the thing that I respect about this coaching staff and the development crew in here in Buffalo is that, like, legit, we can take clay and we can normally figure out something and make something special of it. Because we saw Terrell Bernard and we mentioned a while back, camera, we here still. We mentioned a while back, like, okay, he used to get active at Baylor, play the line of scrimmage, attack the football, things like that, but we didn't know if that was going to translate as early as year 2.
Yeah, because, I mean, what you do in college doesn't always translate. But they must have saw something we didn't see. Well, because, I mean, he only saw the field one real game, so they obviously saw something we didn't see.
Right.
But now with all the defensive players that are gone, who's ready to make that next jump?
Right.
Floyd isn't here no more.
Right.
AJ Epinesa got a fresh deal, so is he now the starter?
Yeah.
So now are you gonna make that step?
Yeah.
Greg Rousseau, I feel like he's been playing better every year, but his sack numbers hasn't really drastically gone up. Now it's time for you to make a jump because you get pressures out the ass. Yeah. Like, you get pressure numbers at elite rates.
And you one of the best run defenders in the league.
But your sack numbers aren't there. But now, no, dog, we need you to get these numbers.
Right.
And anything that Von Miller do at this point is a bonus.
Right. If he give us 6 sacks, we'll be happy.
Right. But if he gets anywhere close to the production that he got his first year with us before he got hurt, this is a whole different defense. a completely different defense.
Right. Because we have, on paper, a chance to be a good defense.
100%.
Top 10 defense, just based off the fact that the front seven is going to do damage. A healthy Milano, healthy Bernard, healthy Ed Oliver, healthy Greg Rousseau, healthy Epinesa, healthy Daquan Jones. That enough is going to get you in the top 10. Now, what happens at corner between Benford and Elam?
I feel like Benford is making himself into
a legit guy.
Yeah, if he wasn't a 6th or 7th round pick, he would be trending in the household name direction.
Exactly.
Like, I think he has the potential to be that good.
Yeah, I
but
get it.
whether they get the recognition or not, don't matter. Just keep balling out.
Yeah, because guess what? Our number 2 position now at corner is better than what it's been the last 5 or 6 years. Because if you think about it, it's always been a mixture of Dane Jackson and Levi Wallace.
Yeah, they've always been
Benford
okay.
is better than,
they've
Benford
been
is better
solid.
than
But
both
now
of them.
you have a legit player at number 2. It's like, oh, okay, we
And
got a
you got a
little
good
something.
legit 3 with Kyrie Elam. So, like,
Right.
I look at the corner spot. I'm like, okay, I'm good there. Now, if you want to nitpick and say beyond that, what do you have
it
on
definitely. Past Elam, it's like, all right, I don't know what
so now
we
we
got here.
going, Ingram.
Jamarcus Ingram,
And they got
Brown.
somebody, right? They got somebody from a draft. What dude's name was?
Yeah, he Hardy.
Yeah.
Daquan
Daquan Hardy.
But he's more of a slot guy.
Yeah, he more of a
through and
backup
through,
slot.
which is actually good because we really don't have nobody at that.
Right, it was more
Saran
Cam
Neal
Lewis.
gone, Cam
Yeah.
Lewis. We don't really know what Cam Lewis is.
Yeah, he's just
he played football.
He's just
somewhere on the back end. He played football.
Somewhere on the back end. Notorious for the Justin Jefferson catch, but we let him live.
Which wasn't even bad defense. So that's
It
crazy.
wasn't.
You just,
It
you
wasn't.
just got boss, bro.
He just got JJ.
Yeah, it is what it is. Shots to the game.
Yeah. But I would say, just to twist it to the other rookie I'm going to be looking forward to seeing is, we talked a little bit about Solomon, which we'll talk more about for the coming preseason games, but I'm looking at Ray Davis, man.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that he looked good in practice day 1, and I just look from the standpoint of what McDermott has been looking for from a running back standpoint now for the last 5 years. Like, he's signed Frank Gore 1 year. He signed fucking Mike Tolbert 1 year. He's always tried to find like a physical running back that he felt like he could count on. And I feel like Ray Davis is going to give you a little bit of both because
I think
he can give you physicality, but he can also give you some wiggle.
Yeah, somebody who has a nose for the end zone and proven it in college. So it's one of those things. It's like we've been looking for this style of running back for years. What, Latavius Murray, Damian Harris, and it just never quite seemed to actually get there. But now I think the potential is actually there to have a physical downhill between the tackle runner.
And that's the thing, like,
who still has ability out of the backfield,
right,
and can block.
Yeah,
supposedly.
So a complete back. Yeah. So and that's what should make at least fans feel a little more calm about the whole offensive approach going into September. Is that, listen, do we have Stephon Diggs? No, we don't. But what we do have at our disposal is we'll probably be a top 10 running team, rushing yards and average, whatever you want to look at. And then, like we just talked about from the wide receiver standpoint and tight end standpoint, we should have 5, 6, 7 guys who can all make plays. But I look at Ray Davis, and I'm just like, I want to see when the pads come on, what that man look like, because I already know come preseason, he's going to become a preseason favorite early. Like,
easy.
To the point where I think you going to get some fans like, listen,
you love you some yards over Cook.
Yeah, I love you, Cook, but this dude, Ray, he can't be stopped. So I want people to obviously calm those expectations, but realize we might really have a good 1-2 punch. And I expect McDermott and Joe Brady to take full advantage of having those two guys because, shit, you can open up the playbook. Mm-hmm. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Outside of that, I didn't see too much from day one from the defense. I know they said that the offense got in the end zone a lot. From that veteran standpoint at receiver, do you see anybody potentially tweaking inside that top 6 that nobody sees coming to make that final roster spot, or do you think it's just to be determined in the preseason game?
Yeah, I feel like because they're gonna have to see what it looks like, because after your top 4, you're 5 and 6 if they keep 6, but they probably will. If they keep 6, you're 5 and 6. They're gonna have to play special teams too.
Yep.
And especially with the uncertainty of what the new kickoff rules are going to look like,
right?
You really might have some more receivers out there than you're used to. And if you look at it, the back end of our receiver room is all bigger guys anyway. So
right.
Which one of these Matt
Big guy.
Collins or Claypools or Justin Shorters can step up. Or
I think they
Tyrell
are
Shavers.
I think they are fighting for the same spot.
Yeah, I think there's one spot for one of them tall niggas.
For real, though.
At the end of the day.
Claypool, Shorter, and Hollins.
Yeah.
And Hollins right now got the early edge because they love him in the locker room. But, like, those three right there, because I think MVS is a lock to be the number 4.
Yeah,
I think he is your backup to Keon Coleman on the boundary.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you're going to have a mixture of Curtis and Khalil. And like I said, 4, I see it being MVS just because of the overall experience.
Yeah.
Like, you can get on him about his drops at times, but the man has been in big games, played with big-time quarterbacks. So I think they're going to trust him a little bit more than maybe a Claypool or Hollins. But you brought up a great point, man. Special teams is going to be a factor.
Mhm.
Are you willing to get dirty?
Yeah.
We know Hollins is.
Mhm.
Claypool.
He said he is. Let's see.
You're right.
You're gonna have to,
Right.
Because
Justin Shorter,
unless you
definitely
crack
gonna
into
have
that top 3, which I think they're.
I think they 3 is set.
Yeah, the chance of getting in there, I think, are pretty low. But if you do it, you're gonna have to earn it, and that would be great for the squad if you do
Yeah.
that. But my thought is, if you're gonna keep 6, have that 6 be something that's a little different than the rest. Because I mean, I don't want that back end to be
That's why.
Shorter.
That's
and
why I wanted
Hollins
to be
and Claypool.
Hamler.
So I want Hamler to be the one that steps in because he is something that is truly not on this
It's
offense
not.
at all.
Nope.
There is no pure shifty straight line speed like he does. Yes,
Right.
Curtis Samuel's a fast guy, fast 40 time, but it's a different type of fast than what Hamler brings to the table.
Right.
So like he brings a completely unique skill set. So like if you're gonna keep 6, I'd rather it not be completely redundant
Yeah, no.
when it comes to the physical
It's
makeup.
something different.
So like I'm like, listen, Hamler, if you can stay healthy and stay on the
Please, man,
field,
do something preseason.
yeah,
Like
do
training camp
something.
is gonna be cool, but like I always feel like with the smaller receivers,
You gotta make a play.
you got to do it in preseason
Yeah.
because we've seen the small guys do it in camp. We've seen the what was dude name who was a beast in college at West Virginia, Tavon Austin.
Oh, shit,
I was
forgot we
a
had him.
big fan of Tavon because I'm just like, ooh, let's get him. This guy's a legend. But then when it came to preseason and when it came to in game snaps, for whatever reason, either they couldn't find him or he just couldn't do nothing. So I really feel like if Hamler want to make the team, he better make sure 11-11s, live practice, and all the way to preseason that he's taking advantage of every snap because I would love to see him just on the roster, even if it's just for emergency. You know, he's strapped up just to do kickoffs or he's doing punt returns, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I like what he could bring. Former second-round pick, too.
Yeah, he's got the pedigree. He's had issues staying on the field. Like he just can't stay healthy. Has the heart issue. So can you stay on the field and provide some actual value to the squad? And I mean, I think that's what it kind of boils down to for him. But it's going to be a hell of a battle each and every day. So seeing who get first and mostly second team reps are going to be like, all right, you got the leading edge. But right now, it looks like Samuel, Shakir, MVS, and Coleman are the ones that are.
Right.
This is your top 4. So who else going to crack into this?
Right.
But
And quiet as kept, I like the top 4.
yeah, I think Mac Hollins is close to a
Yeah,
shoe-in.
he pretty much is.
So I mean, I honestly, I feel like 5 is already locked up.
Right.
But
Right. And that's why I say that Almighty 6 is going to be important because, like you said, is it going to be we want to do more of the same or do we want to switch it up and get us a small, quick guy who can come on the field, we can run a reverse to, or he can run our kickoffs back because kickoffs are going to be important this year.
Yep.
That's going to be another thing that we look at in preseason is how does the kickoff game look, returns look, who do they have back there? Is it Daquan Hardy? Is it just KJ Hamler, or is it somebody else that I'm not thinking
I
of?
think Ty Johnson got to look at it.
Ty Johnson
I
got
think
to
Samuel got to look at kickoffs, in my opinion.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, a lot of people saying kickoffs going to be look more almost like a run play. So
Right.
who's used to put that ball in their hands? Who used to finding the block, following the block, looking at the hole, hitting the hole?
I need a motherfucker to pop too.
Yeah, I think it's a running back.
Yeah. It
And
might
Ty
be.
Johnson got some speed on him too.
He do. He got a little something.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a 4-4 guy.
Yeah. Shout out to Ty and shout out to the players, man. They're starting to come back and visit the store again. For those who know me, I work at my store or whatever in Orchard Park, and Keon was able to stop by, make a purchase. Didn't happen while I was there, so I was a little upset about that.
Oh,
but
that hurt. That's
it's
like it hurt.
still happening. We got his signature and all that stuff, and we're gonna give it away to some a lucky customer or whatever. But yeah, man, it's just good to get the players back in town. I know I plan on at least getting out to Rochester at least once. I try to. It doesn't always work out.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I will be at the scrimmage.
The red and blue joint?
Yeah, we'll be in there.
We should be at that joint too. I think that's August 2nd for those who don't know. Friday, August 2nd, red and blue.
Bringing little homie to the stadium.
Little homie. I like that.
My man making his stadium intro.
Stadium intro. All right. Well, I'll make sure I share the location. But yeah, it should be fun, y'all. Red and blue coming up next week for those who are in town. Followed by that following week will be their first preseason game on August 10th. But before we get to that, any other things going into the rest of the week that you're going to be looking for from defensive side, coaching side? Like, is there anything else that you're going to be looking forward to from this first week?
I mean, yeah, it may sound weird, but I just want to see what this kickoff's starting to look like. Because, like, it's such a drastic change.
Right.
Like, I mean, honestly, this is probably the biggest change from a rule standpoint in a long time. So,
Right.
like, I really want to see what this looks like functionally, because it's going to be a drastic change. It's from what I hear in XFL, 97% of kickoffs will return. So that will be a drastic change.
You're going to have to pay attention.
Yeah, this is a real play again. Ain't no more bathroom breaks during the bathroom. So we're gonna actually have to see what
I
that
know
looks
Muggs
like.
wants to still go to the bathroom. But
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, ain't gonna be back at it like that. But you know, with this being so new, I think early in the seasons you may see a couple big plays
right.
off that until teams.
And that's
really
why I'm
get
hoping we keep a dynamic
adjusted
guy
to that. Yeah, because I mean, we need somebody like that in the tuck. At the
Just
end of the day.
give me the one guy that we can add that's going to at least make me second guess going to the bathroom, whatever. We just got straightened up. For those watching, we just trying to make sure we got the camera right and all that.
Yeah, we got outside elements playing tricks on us, so we gonna make it work.
Just put the phone right there. Yeah. Now the phone ain't a little bit. Oops. All right, we good. Cool. We good, y'all. This is what happens when you record outside.
Oh, it's real gully.
Got to make sure.
Think about us. We're not gonna be frilly with all that.
Yeah, I don't care.
We're keeping
man.
the gutter out here.
Yeah, real, like we in the basement. But so I will say with the kickoffs, like I said, if we add or keep an explosive player on the team, that's gonna make me more excited to stick around to see those returns because, like, again, over the last 4 or 5 years since they took it away, that's like a break. You go get your food, you go use the bathroom.
Yep.
You're like, all right, y'all.
It's gonna be a kickoff.
Let me
minute.
sit down for a little
Touchback,
bit.
anyways.
Yeah, let me sit down, chill out.
But now it's really gonna be a thing, and because I mean the chances for the drives to start much further down the field, you're probably gonna see scores increase because again, if average field position creeping up towards a 30 or even higher, it's gonna start making a big difference.
Now, I got to ask you this. Around the league, anything that you're looking forward to around the league from the first week? Trades, player movement. I know there's a couple of holdouts. Anything that you're going to keep an eye on around the league?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess it's a little holdout. Even though he's at practice.
Brandon?
No, not Brandon. I want to see how this Tua thing plays out.
Oh, Mr. Tua.
It's because it's obvious he wants a contract. I think, in my opinion, Miami been saying one thing, but I really don't think they want to make him one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the
They
league.
definitely acting real hesitant out here.
So I want to see how that's going to play out. Because in my opinion, as a Bills fan, yes, please give Tua a big ass extension.
Right.
I want you to make him one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league because I don't think he can match that on the field.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I really want to see how that plays out because if I'm a Dolphins fan, one thing I'm nervous about is paying Tua, them not doing good, and end up getting McDaniel fired. Because I'm way more scared of McDaniel as a coach than I am of Tua as a quarterback.
Right. Yeah, McDaniel is the one thing that they got that's keeping them at a respectable level.
100%.
Level. Tua is good enough as of now. Like, dude's still young, 26, 27 years old.
Yeah. He's got room to still
right
grow,
now,
absolutely.
he's good enough to get you to the playoffs. I think the biggest thing with him now is, like, can he elevate his game when the chips are down to compete with a Patrick Mahomes, to compete with a Josh Allen? Because right now, there's no question about Josh being able to elevate his game when he needs to. It's really just come down to just things around him and making sure that he has the proper support in these big games. Because if you look at it last year, what are we talking about? A bad decision on special teams here and there, maybe a misread on a throw towards the end of the game. We're talking about a missed field goal. If we go back 3 years ago, 2 years ago, we're talking about 13 seconds. That had nothing to do with Josh Allen. So when I'm comparing a guy who gets paid the amount of money Josh gets paid to somebody like Tua, is like, at least you can look at the money Josh got and be like, I get it.
Yeah.
Tua is great within that system, but I think what some fans and maybe management want to see is, dude, if we need you to put the team on your back,
Can you do
put the team on
it?
your
That's
back?
what I was just going to say. Like, right now, what Tua needs, and it may even be the offense in general, they need a counterpunch. Because once teams started really putting those safety back and not allowing those receivers to take the top off of a defense, that offense slowed down a ton.
Right.
So it really constricted everything underneath, and that offense wasn't nearly as explosive. So
Right.
now that teams, I want to say, have the book out, because, I mean, you can't have the book out on Waddle and Hill. Like, they're too good. However, if you can keep the safeties back far enough and eliminate the big 60-yarder,
Right.
can Tua develop as a quarterback to methodically bring that team down the field, drive after drive after drive?
And deal with the elements too, because I think they always get joked about for not being able to play in December. Some of that has to do with your quarterback too.
Yeah, it's real.
He got to be able to adjust. When
Cut that ball through the wind. Baltimore ain't the only cold weather city.
because when they went ahead and they had to play Kansas City in the playoffs, it
That's
was like
cold.
0 degrees.
Jets are cold,
Um,
New England's cold, Pittsburgh
you-
cold, Baltimore cold. These are all cold weather cities you're going to have to play at. So you got to be able to cut that ball through. And not to mention the pressures of a new deal too. So, okay, now you can pay it as a top quarterback.
Right.
Now you need to produce as that top quarterback. So what happens if you don't? So I'm just curious to see how that plays out in general. So, I mean, he's
It's gonna
at
be fun to
practice. He did a couple handoffs, but he really ain't participate. So, okay. So, let's... All right, GM. Chris Greer, I think.
Yeah.
So what's your move?
Yeah.
You gonna cut this big ass check for Tua or not?
Because they didn't already spread around money already out there, and
Yeah, you already had to cut a lot of players on
Justin Herbert
defense.
done got his money.
Yeah.
A few other guys got theirs, and now
And these contracts only getting bigger. Dak need a contract soon, which
Bro.
I mean, I don't know if Dallas gonna do that, but he gonna need a contract soon. I think at this point, Josh and Mahomes will be up for a restructure at
Couple
some
years,
point
yeah.
in the next year or two. So
Yeah.
you got a lot of
because Josh right now not even a top 10 paid
he
quarterback.
like 12, which is crazy.
We got a hell of a deal.
It's bananas though, but I mean, it is what it is. Next
It
quarterback
is.
up is the next one to get paid. So,
That's-
I'm curious about that, and a little bit of the Brandon Ayuk situation too. But he showed up to camp, so
He did. They said he didn't step on the field, but he showed up. So I mean, that's a good sign for San Fran. But at the same time, that could just be in him like, hey, listen,
hey man,
I ain't going.
if I'm San Fran, I'm trading him and getting what I can get. Because out of that, he gonna walk for nothing.
Right.
I'm not gonna franchise him.
Right.
So let's just get some. Yes, would
Yeah.
that hurt your team? Probably. But you just drafted a first round receiver.
Yeah.
You still got Deebo Samuel. You still got George Kittle. You still got McCaffrey. So listen, man, get what you can get.
And I look at it like, man, if you know the player and you know the agent, figure out what the best solution is. Like, the quicker you find out the solution, the less of a distraction it is. And I think that's what most GMs try to do before training camp is like, listen, whatever might be the next distraction over the next 4 weeks, let's kill that shit now. Because if we don't kill it now, it's going to drag into September,
Yeah. But-
October, trade deadline.
Exactly. The thing is, too, I mean, they not paying the top end quarterback right now. So I mean, you want to sign Brandon Ayuk?
Brock Purdy, motherfucker.
Make it happen. I mean, you already paying Deebo a good amount of money, but in my opinion, I'm keeping Ayuk over. I'm keeping Samuel.
Yeah, 'cause he's younger.
Ayuk, and I think he's the better receiver.
Yeah, probably better, like,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Samuel's
Sam better
an all
football
around player.
player.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he can much more versatile. But as a
Yeah.
pure receiver, I think Ayuk is the best receiver. on
his
that
upside
team.
crazy. But
Yeah.
like I
so
said,
what about you? What are you keeping your eye on?
honestly,
league-wide?
it's a mixture of kind of what you said. I mean, the Miami situation is one within the division. I think the Jet situation with Aaron Rodgers, just kind of seeing like,
Bro, I don't
what
think
he
I
really looks like.
ever have rooted for a play against a player as hard as I'm rooting for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I want to see him fail with flying colors,
That's
and I
what
never
it is.
root against players.
right.
But like, it's just something about like I need to see this team go down bad.
Yeah. So I'm
Bad.
keeping my eye on the Jet situation just because, again, in our division, Like, what does the Aaron Rodgers situation look like? Hassan Reddick still hasn't gone to camp.
Yeah, and you a 40-year-old coming off of an Achilles tear. I mean, that's a legitimate recovery as is, let alone on a 40-year-old man.
Right.
So
that right there in itself is one to keep an eye on. And honestly, around the league, like, I'm not paying attention to the NFC as much as I should, but I think I will going into fantasy football draft season, which is not too far around the corner. But I think I'm just more concerned with the AFC. Obviously, continuing to watch what Patrick Mahomes and those guys look like with Xavier Worthy added in that mix.
It should be fun.
I saw a couple highlights the other day. You know, obviously the bomb.
If nothing else, he should be able to get. Listen, those plays are going to happen. Once every couple weeks, you're going to get loose for one of those long ones, and they should be able to connect. But my thing is with them, can you do that game in and game out?
Right.
And can you take the beating of an NFL season as a smaller frame receiver? And if he can hold up, then kudos for them for doing that. Because, I mean, the guy got talent. Like, you can't front him and act like he trash.
I think the key for me with defending them, though, it's just like they got a younger Tyreek Hill for situational reasons, but you just go back to making sure you have versatile guys on that back end. Because if you don't have the Micah Hydes, and I know Micah Hyde is no longer with the team, but if you don't have a versatile safety or linebackers who can guard from 15 to 30 to 40 feet, 40 yards, then you probably will give up 40 points to the Chiefs. But if you have a defense that can mix and match between linebackers, safeties, corners that can play back, and who got a good, like, I feel like we have a good set of guys on that back seven who got great ball skills, from Milano to Bernard to fucking Rasul Douglas. Even Benford has good ball skills. So, like, I'm looking at the guys that we have on that back end, and I kind of look forward to playing them because it's going to be, as always, another chess match. It's going to be like, hey, we not just going to let you sit back and throw the ball 60 yards and fucking just parade down the sidelines. Like, nah, y'all going to have to fight just like we going to have to fight. So, definitely looking forward to how they grow their chemistry through training camp. But my main eyes right now and attention is on the Bills, and we just got so much to develop and so much to really pay attention to in our own backyard, where it's almost like we got to kind of just keep our goggles and our binoculars on our own team. So that's really where I'm at with that. Outside of camp, I did want to get one Olympic note in before we sign off in a few here. What are you most looking forward to in the Olympics?
Man, first of all, I love Olympic season in general. And
it's always good to have a little something else on TV.
Yeah, for sure. And for me, I'm always naturally gravitated towards the track, just because I think it's because it's just so much action in such a short span.
Yep.
Like 100 meters, the 4x1 relays, like all those, it's just the anticipation of it, because you know you literally got the best in the world here going at it. So I'm looking forward to the track and field. I want to see how Sha'Carri does in there, just because, you know, I've been watching her story for a long time now, so I'm interested to see that. You know, I'm always interested in the soccer too, to see how they hold up. So you know, men and U.S. women's, let's see what they do in this little Olympic tournament. But that's kind of the main things that I keep my eye on. Some wise, you know, I'm gonna watch a little golf too, because, you know, as a golf fan, we're gonna see what we do.
Yeah.
See if Xander Schauffele stay hot.
I'll say I'm kind of piggyback off what you said, though. Like, track and field is definitely one of the more exciting events during the Olympics, just because we got real competition, you know, with Jamaica and a couple of the other countries that be really on our ass. But like Sha'Carri Richardson, I know Noah Lyles is another one of those cats that, you know,
breaking records left and right.
Breaking records. And then even from the basketball court, watching LeBron James potentially get his next gold medal and lead the team, because right now his role is really just Kobe. Just be the Kobe Bryant of this dream team, or this version of the dream team.
Hold it together.
And he did a hell of a job. I was watching some of the clips from the other night, and I'm just still trying to wrap my mind around him about to be 40 this year.
This is ridiculous.
And just
like just a quick blurb about him. Like, I've never in any sport seen anyone not just live up to the expectation, but actually even exceed the expectation. And his expectation was already out of this world.
The roof. Yeah, magazine cover.
And you 16. Exceeded that.
Yeah.
Bro, you 20 plus years in.
Yeah.
And still putting up better numbers than most players have in their
Son hooping
career.
in the summer league. Yeah.
Like, it is starting to be to the point like, yo, this is almost unbelievable that someone at this age is still putting up these type of numbers on a consistent basis.
That's why I said his documentary, when it's all said and done, it's going to be like,
It's out of this world.
it's going to bring real men to tears. I'm going to say it like that because
the level of dedication that it takes to physically get prepared for this at that age is ridiculous. Like, and the thing that always gets me about a LeBron is my man has never had an off the field blemish.
Right.
Never had no crime or no criminal stuff. He's been faithfully married with children for years, and still gets the type of shit that he gets.
Still good.
I mean, he's the role model of all role models,
right.
and still is hated on to the level that he is. It blows my mind. I'm like, man.
And just on that just goes to show you, and this is why I tell people who are at the top and whatever their career is, it's like you will always, unfortunately, be a target or be kind of throwing a bunch of stuff when you're at the top, because a lot of people can't relate to being the best at anything. A lot of people hate the fact that you can be at the top and not have any moments and not have any embarrassing storylines against you. And he got a lot of things going against him. He's a black male who survived going through poverty, going straight from high school to the NBA, and like you said, didn't blink. Came into the league, brought his team to the finals within 5 years. Won a championship, not one. He won 2 championships, not 2. He won 3. Was able to get one back home in his home state. So, like, his story is legit something that you write in a Disney book, something that ESPN would probably make up about a player. He really did that. So, I'm super proud of LeBron. Even growing up being a Melo fan, like I always tell people, you still got to appreciate even the rivals, the foes,
you got to
the friends.
appreciate his greatness while you have it. Because you more than likely never see another athlete in our lifetime that has done this.
Yeah, because what he's doing right now is stupid.
Literally once in a generation.
Yeah, like, again, I think because we fresh off of the whole Tom Brady thing, that we kind of...
But even his situation is different.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the greatest of all time.
Right.
But he never came to the league with this type of expectation at the age that he came in either. Like, he came in as an 18-year-old young adult and began being dominant in the league and has been dominant the entire time.
20 plus years.
Like,
20 plus years.
Bro, and now you're the flag bearer for the Olympics. Like, yo, that's dope,
Storybook,
man. You can't beat that. Bro, you're
got
40.
his son playing in the
I'm
league.
36.
I know.
That was 4 years ago. Like, he's still doing it. Like,
And it makes you want to just be better. Like, from what we do on a day-to-day basis, is just like anytime we feeling lazy or feeling like, I ain't got the energy to do this, it make you want to get your ass up, because there's people out there making loads more money than you, but they still get up at 5 o'clock morning and work out and get shots up. They still bust their ass to be the best father they can be the best role model they can be. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a great person to look up to. Like I said, I normally try to keep it focused on the sports, but even outside of sports, it looks like he does stuff the right way, which we can appreciate, especially in our community, being that we don't always get the best role models, or they don't always get highlighted. So it's good to see LeBron take in that role and now leading Team USA. It will look like to be another gold medal. But it's going to be tough. I'm saying right now. I'm looking at
lost to South Sudan the other day.
Listen.
It was 45-point favorites and won by 2.
Listen. Whoever almost had bet money on that, they would have came up.
Plus 15,000, I'm sure.
Yeah. So
that was college football lines, right?
Right. And shout out to those who got the college football game.
I'm about to say shout out to South Sudan.
Shout out to the college football owners of the NCAA new game out there. I know there's plenty of people who got the Xbox or PS5.
Must be nice.
I ain't got either.
Me either.
I don't have the game.
Thing is, bro, I didn't find this like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't coming out on the PS4. And since I don't play video games, I never bought a 5. But NCAA has always been my favorite game. I'm like, yo, bet. When it come out, I buy it for the 4.
Right.
I saw it wasn't coming out. I said, oh, well.
Never mind.
I'm
good.
I don't play games enough to justify it.
Right.
So,
the only thing I said I'm willing to do is turn in my PS4 to get a PS5 to try to see if I can get it for half off.
They're going to give you about $14.
I know, right? Bro, I got all the $22 for that. Take it or leave it. So, yeah, I ain't in no rush to get it, but, man, shout out to all of those who celebrated last week.
Congratulations.
The release of NCAA. Yeah, congratulations.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, but it's all good. I mean, we both busy people.
Yeah,
I mean, we ain't really got time. Like, I probably can get on the game
once a week.
Like, for more than an hour, once a week. I might be able to get a quick game in maybe twice a week, but like it's legit once a week. And I had my son in town last week, so we were able to spend a little bit more time on the game. But listen, man, you got a baby at home, you got a wife, I got a wife, I got a fucking job that's pulling me in all directions. So it is what it is. But listen, guys, man, it was good to catch up with y'all, man. Day 1 of training camp practice is out the way. It will be plenty more to discuss over the next several weeks.
Yeah,
so
I think we back to weekly shows.
We back to the weekly shows.
So we'll be checking back in next week, so we'll be able to check in on this next couple of days of training camp news, so we can come back with anything newsworthy, anything, any hot takes, any viral clips will be on it. So we're just looking forward to really getting back to the season, back into the swing of things, and getting ready for a hopefully a nice deep playoff run and Super Bowl run. Yeah, we'll have more predictions on the way, obviously, from roster decisions to winning records to our fantasy football takes over the next 3 to 4 weeks. Just a lot to get into. But first off, we wanted to get back into the flow of simply reconnecting with you guys and just getting a chance to catch up on all that has gone on over the last several weeks. So from myself, from Z, you already know, share, like, tell a friend that we back at it. Tell a friend if they want to hop on, they can pull up on us. You see, we outside with it when it's nice. We can go to the basement when it's not. And we'll even do it virtually when we need to. So we back at it. Good to get back into the flow. Bills Mafia. Y'all already know, man. If y'all see us, don't be afraid to say hello, because it's about to be that time when I'm back at the stadium. You already know what time that is.
So prepare for that.
You
all right,
already
y'all?
know.
But from Val,
it's your boy Z. We'll catch y'all next week.
Peace out.